and welcome to tonight's spring concert put on by our Green Shades Jazz Ensemble and our combined wind and concert bands. That was Sing, 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 and it featured Abby Albright on tenor sax. And Mr. Aidan Moss on drum set. We should start every concert like that. That was so fun. That was Green. That is Green Shades. I've said that. Yes. That was Sing, Sing, Sing by Louis Prima, and it was first recorded in 1936. And it's strongly identified with the big band and swing eras, as we know. Several have performed the piece as an instrumental, most famously Benny Goodman. The next piece is entitled Europa by Carlos Santana. Europa is considered by many to be Santana's most beautiful instrumental song and is one of the most harmonically complex songs. It is from his album Amigos. The arrangement we will be performing tonight is by Eric Richards and features tenor saxophone. As I was beginning to think about this concert many months ago, I thought about how to properly acknowledge those people how to acknowledge those people who have helped with this program and made a significant contribution. I knew I wouldn't get Mr. P up on the stage to thank him because, as many of you know, I have tried for many years. I actually gave up several years ago, and I just point back to him at the sound booth, and he allows that. But there is one way to get him up here, and fortunately he took the bait. I asked him if he would like to make music with the band, and he was all over that. So, for those of you who don't know Mr. P, I call him Mark at home. He has been the resident clinician here for Green Shades for as long as I've been here. He's been at countless jazz rehearsals over the past 10 years. He's met with our soloists individually before and after school dozens of times to help the very critical improvisation portion of our program. He's run multiple sectionals and he's pored over jazz scores and recordings, meticulously analyzing what the band was doing right and wrong so he could get the very best out of the band at every performance. When I was assigned to the high school band program many years, he said, "I'll help you however I can." Because of his expertise and experience in the area of jazz, Green Shades received a lot of accolades over the years, more than we ever would have achieved without his guidance. And for that, we all say, thank you. So at this time, it gives me great pleasure to welcome tonight's guest soloist, Mr. P.
You know, I think I'd marry you all over again. For those of you that have followed this band, you know how much I appreciate the effort that this group of musicians and their director puts in. There's a lot of early morning rehearsals. And I am humbled when people come to me and say, thanks for spending so much time with this group. The truth of the matter is, I hope they get as much out of the rehearsals as I have over the years. And this is just an amazing group of young people. There's no better way to start the day than to talk about jazz. Maybe a little coffee first, and then to talk about jazz with a group of students like this. Band, it is my sincere pleasure to stand up here with you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Let's do this.
Okay. That was very fun. Our final piece for Green Shades is one of my favorites, written and performed by one of my favorite artists. Higher Ground is a funk song written by Stevie Wonder. It first appeared on the 1973 album Inner Visions. Wonder wrote and recorded the song in a 3-hour burst of creativity in May of 1973. He played all instruments on the track, including drums and percussion. Our arrangement was done by Mike Tomorrow. Our soloists are Lauren Iverson on alto sax, Julian Rudowski on trumpet, and we will also hear a great bit of Oliver Swarzinski at the beginning. Woo! many parents in our audience tonight that have donated their time to this band program, and I thank you all for your help and assistance over the years. Tonight, I would like to acknowledge two extraordinary parents, friends, that I've worked with for many years and depended on greatly. And they are Mrs. Andy Seidel and Mrs. Nancy Nevgen. Would you both please come to the stage? I was ready for you two to argue, so I'm happy that you don't have a choice. Yeah, just coming up here. These stairs. Okay, one on either side is perfect. That's how I feel like it's been. Okay. I have to get through 6 pages. Too much. Just kidding. Andy Seidel has been active as a volunteer with the band program for 11 years and counting. Although we don't have titles or declared positions in the BPO, we can all say without a doubt that if we did, Andy would be president. Over the years, Andy has coordinated countless fundraisers. In fact, she took fundraising to a whole new level. Great moneymakers such as CT's Deli, Lights of the North Woods, Hanson's Fall Festival, just to name a few. And she didn't just coordinate them, she worked at all of them too, donating a great deal of time and providing a great deal of food for each of them. Under Andy's charge, the BPO has been able to provide assistance for many students who needed financial help with one of our trips. The BPO has also covered meals for the entire group on trips. They've paid for additional activities for the kids, like boat rides down the San Antonio River, and admission for the entire group to see Blue Man Group. And in addition to all of that, Andy kept accurate records of each of our band students' fundraising accounts. As we know, it would be next to impossible to fill Andy's shoes. However, as her departure will be soon, she would like to train someone this next school year to take over the students' fundraising accounts. Andy Seidel has gone well beyond her years that her sons were in the band, and for that, I am eternally grateful. And I need to mention her husband at this time, too.
No, you don't.
No surprise in that comeback. He comes along with Andy, which is fantastic. He's recorded all of our concerts, and he's put them so wonderfully up on YouTube for all of us to enjoy with our family and friends all over the place. So, Mr. Mark Seidel, thank you. And Mrs. Nancy Nevgen has given 9 years to this program and will be retiring after the 4th of July. Over the years, Nancy has coordinated our flower sales. She's organized and done all of the apparel ordering. She too has been at every fundraiser, giving much of her time. She's baked tons of delicious treats and healthy alternative snacks, and who can forget her delicious chili and the turtle bars. We all have favorites. Her items became known at our bake sales, and people came specifically for them. And if that's not enough, she was the keeper of our uniforms. She took meticulous care of them. Our band students were fitted and refitted as they grew throughout the year. Their pants were hemmed, their shoes were polished, and their stains were removed. Also, they looked great, whether marching down the street, under the lights on the varsity field, or sitting on the stage for a performance. Nancy was instrumental in creating the sense of pride that goes into wearing the RHS band uniform. While Nancy's work should be covered by several people, the BPO is looking for one person who is able to keep records of the uniforms and coordinate the volunteers for fittings of the uniforms. Like Andy, Nancy has gone well beyond her children's years in the band program, and I'm eternally grateful for her as well. it's hard to thank these two when I don't feel that words are adequate. They have saved me so much time and stress over the last several years, time that I could then devote to the students and to the program. I was so very lucky to have them at my side, so please join me one more time in acknowledging these two wonderful ladies. But don't. So at this time, I'd like to hand over the microphone to Andy, and she will present the band camp scholarships with Nancy's help.
It's been a pleasure, Nancy and I both working here with Connie all these years.
We love the band kids and Connie so much.
Yep, we do. Each year, the band organization makes it one of their priorities to raise money for summer music scholarships. Music camps provide our students with the opportunity to live, learn, create, and perform with students from all over the country. They also provide our students the opportunity to improve their skills, which in turn benefit both our middle school and high school band programs. Because of your support of the music program this year and your very generous donations during the Music in Our Schools concert, we are proud to award 9 scholarships on your behalf. So the recipients this year and their chosen band camps are as follows. If you can come up, and we'll try to keep everybody up here so you can see them all. Elijah Evers, 9th grader, is going to the Wisconsin State Music Association State Honors Band. Dayton Hanel, a 10th grader, is going to be attending camp at UW Whitewater. Madison Kremsvogel, 7th grader, is going to be attending UW Green Bay. Oh, they're playing soccer tonight. Julian Rudowski, 10th grader, UW Stevens Point. Haley Skubal, 6th grader, UW Green Bay. Kelly Threlkeld, 9th grader, attending UW Green Bay. Julia Wacker, 7th grader, attending UW Whitewater. As you can see, all of these band students are involved in a lot of different things. Kendra Whitburn, 6th grader, UW Green Bay. And our final one, Haley Zubricki, a 7th grader attending UW Green Bay. Thank you for all your support.
Hello, my name is Tori Honor and I'm a senior in the Rylander High School Band. Our first selection for the combined concert band and wind ensemble is Arabesque, composed by Samuel Hazel. The piece was composed in 2008 for the Indiana Bandmasters Association. Arabesque is based in the mystical sounds of Middle Eastern music. The Bandmasters Association asked Mr. Hazel for a piece that was unique. Having family from both Lebanon and Assyria, he called on his culture's deep and rich musical properties. As Samuel Hazel states, sometimes in composition, the song comes from the heart, sometimes from the mind, and sometimes, as in this case, it's in your blood.
there always has to be a first on every concert, and this is 33 years here. I have never had a stand. It started here and it went down here. I was practically on my knees to turn the page, so I need a different one. Before we get to the seniors, I would like to take a moment and Mark, maybe you could bump the house lights. There's two people in the audience that I would like to acknowledge that have been incredibly helpful in this whole Takes a Village. One is Mr. Dale Smith, and fortunately he had to drop something off, so I know he's here. So Mr. Dale Smith wrote all of our marching shows for the ever since I've been here. And it was wonderful because he would tweak it for however we needed it. If my instrumentation changed throughout the summer, and I'd email him and he'd fix it and he'd change it. So he was doing it all summer long. If we had something that we wanted a boat to rock, he did that on the field. We wanted some symbols throughout the years written into the show, and he did that. He also was our tour guide on all of our trips, and I swore I would never go anywhere without him managing our trips. If you ever want to see somebody who's busy, my favorite spot was to sit across the bus aisle from him. And he's on the phone constantly reworking and making sure our trips were great. And he also subs for me so our kids don't have to sit in a study hall. So Mr. Dale Smith, please stand and let's give it up for him. And I'd also like to acknowledge my colleague, Adair Sexton, that we have been working together for about 19 years, and boy, she's had my back every step of the way, and I just, it's been really, really lucky. I count myself very lucky to work with someone so closely that we are very much on the same plane for teaching. That didn't come out right, but we have the same style, and we believe in the same things, and she really passes along some wonderfully motivated, talented sixth graders to me, and then again in high school passes along a wonderful group of eighth graders. And she's been incredibly supportive. Spent more time with her than I have with Mr. P, I know, with all of the commitments we've had and things. And so, Adair, would you please stand, and everybody, let's give Adair Sexton. Show up. She's here.
There we go.
I can see Barb. We'll take Barb. Wonderful. So thank you. Before we perform our final piece, this is just crazy that we're here already. I'd like to take this time to acknowledge a very special group of band members, our seniors. So please come forward when I call your name. Audience, do not hold your applause until the end. Michael Bartout. Dave Bennett. It's a bit surreal for me that we're at this point of the school year, and more accurately at this point in life. I'm sure it is for some of these people standing alongside me, or at least it is for your parents. Where did the time go? This is a unique group of seniors. Can I leave it there? No. We have those that are so quiet, they don't say a word. And we have those that say too many words. And we have those that seem to know what I'm thinking and say it for me. And that's especially wonderful, Dakota. All kidding aside, this is a group that has been very helpful when the chips are down. They can be incredibly relaxed about something to the point that I'm wondering if they're going to get things done. And then they pull things together quite efficiently. There's no one who's incredibly opinionated or not willing to bend. They're kind, easygoing, and they seem to get along well with each other, even though they are all very different. I can go along for quite a while, and then all of a sudden one of them will offer to clean a storage room or organize music or make my day in one way or another. We have some great leaders in this group, not just musically, but with our school academics, with our sports teams, and with our various school clubs and organizations. They're living proof to our younger musicians that you can participate in band and still excel at other things in our school. I have used many of these individuals as examples to our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade band members. These seniors have been a wonderful group of students to work with, and as I say, every single year, being a band director has its ups and its downs. I've watched these people, some for 7 years, start as little 6th graders, go through the awkward middle school years, and then grow into adults that you can actually have a conversation with. That's the upside. The downside is now we have to say goodbye. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your time and your dedication to the RHS band program. Whether some type of music career will be part of your future or you have another path planned, you have all juggled many hats and many activities over the last 4 years to make music and the RHS band be an important part of your lives. And because of your dedication, loyalty, friendship, humor, and pride, we have all benefited, and we will continue to do so. So seniors, although this is not our last performance together, it is my time to officially thank you and wish you continued success in your future endeavors. And before they return to their seats, will the parents of these wonderful individuals please stand? Support these people all along the way through high school and with our band program. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nicholas White, and I'm a senior in the RHS band. The final piece to be performed this evening is The Inferno by Robert W. Smith. The Inferno is the first movement of Robert W. Smith's 4-movement work entitled The Divine Comedy, based on Dante Alighieri's epic poem, The Divine Comedy. The poem was written between 1308 and 1321. It is considered one of the greatest works of world literature. The poem is an imaginative vision of the afterlife. It is divided into 3 parts: the Inferno, Hell, Purgatorio, and Paradiso, Heaven. Robert W. Smith also divided his musical work, The Divine Comedy, into 3 separate movements based on the parts of the poem. The Inferno is based on Dante's vision of Hell, which consists of 9 circles divided into 4 categories of sin. The piece you will hear is also divided into 4 sections. Robert W. Smith uses visual imagery with huge blocks of sound and explosive winds and percussion to portray the infinite torment of hell.
And on that cheery note, here's our final piece.
Holding y'all hostage.
I went through a whole mental process before I got here. I meditated, all sorts of things.
And we all know how she loves piano.
I could wear this for the last how many years?
So Connie's adoring crowds, which are all of you and all of you. The BPO would like to honor Mrs. P with these 10 beautiful roses, one for each of her years of devoted teaching here at RHS. Red roses to represent all the love and major dedication she has given to this music program. Connie has truly put her heart and soul into each and every moment and measure. Yellow roses, hey, come on. Yellow roses and thanks for the joy of music that she has instilled in countless students. Nancy's legacy will be fondly reprised through many generations.
I'm short. The pink roses to symbolize our sincere admiration for the chromatic array of talents Mrs. P has shared with all of us over the years. And finally, a white rose to honor Connie's pure spirit and to represent rebirth in retirement. Connie, your dolce cadenza is just beginning. Your Hodag music family thanks you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you have given us. Thanks to you, life will never be flat. So, round of applause for Connie. Please do not leave. There is more yet to come. Connie, you must trust Andy and myself and come with us, and we are going to take very good care of you. We'll get you down the stairs first. Come. We're going to the dark side. Yep, got that right.
Okay, somebody take over. Can I? Sorry, okay, sorry. Tomorrow's a school day.
found in the constant ticking of a metronome. It keeps us on track and together. Practice makes permanent. Connie Piasecki, a driving force in all our lives, driving us through pieces, through school, through work, keeping us in time. The time we shared with her is not marked by a time signature alone. her indomitable spirit, the jokes that leave us groaning, and her unwavering honesty that left impressions in our hearts, beating in time. Her time signature will hold its steady beat, but her genre is changing. We will carry with us the standard of excellence that she inspired, and, in our own time, share her tune with all we meet.
Thank you so very much. Before you is an alumni band that we formed. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Rachel Harder, who was my partner in crime. Would you please stand up? She ran. She's doing her job. So, what a pleasure to have all of you here. They're here for you, Connie. I can't even see you back there.
She's coming towards you. Turn lights up.
Oh, you're right here. All right. Well, we have one more thing for you, honey. Just hang on. You can just sit there, stand there and dance.
Stand there, Nancy. She keeps seeing people.